Major spoiler warning for Boruto TBV Chapter 21. I put together our reactions to some of the key parts of the chapter, and then you'll hear our immediate thoughts right after we finish reading. Let's get right into it. Oh, shit. Okay, so it is just gravity.
Yeah, it's just gravity.
But it's like selective?
Yeah, selective gravity. Which is, I mean, that's still pretty cool.
Okay. So what happens if you get pulled into it?
Well, we're about to find out, hopefully.
Writing that my goal.
A few moments later.
Ohirume.
Oh, you're there too?
Alternate name for... Okay, the translation note. Do you see it?
Yeah, I saw it.
An alternate name for Amaterasu. We did talk about that.
Hey, you know what? We were like low-key 50% right.
Yeah.
Just saying.
Oh shit!
We just combusted him, bro!
What the...
Wait, okay, that means the black hole enthusiasts are happy right now.
So it was... we'll talk about this after... Holy crap. What the heck? So what happens to his soul thorn thing?
It's forming. It's forming.
Oh, yeah. Her sacrifice. Oh.
Oh, shit.
Oh.
When you get to page 37, let me know.
I'm on 36. Now I'm on 37. Konohamaru.
Okay, my theory's right.
Oh my god, yeah, you talked about that. So
Is Konohamaru gonna die?
No shot,
Oh,
no
Boruto's
shot, dude.
here.
I don't. There's no shot.
Yeah, Boruto's here.
There he is.
Uh-oh, Jura's coming out.
Oh shoot. Okay, that was crazy. That was insane.
Okay, that was a good one.
All right. Initial reactions. For anyone who hasn't seen our video speculating on her abilities, definitely check that out. We just posted that a couple days ago. I don't know when this is going to go up, but probably a couple days ago. But one of the first things we talked about was the Amaterasu connection, right?
Yeah.
And so I think it's really cool that really it was a lot of different theories that people had that sort of came together, if that makes sense. I don't think it was quite exactly like one theory that, at least from what I saw, that anyone had that like perfectly, but it took bits of a lot of theories that people had and put them together. So I thought that was cool, right? Obviously, like there's the Amaterasu connection alongside like the black hole stuff, which obviously black holes are derived from stars, like the sun is, right? So going back to the Amaterasu connection, the sun goddess. So that's all really cool.
I mean, I guess like her ability kind of makes sense, right? Because I think that one video that we both watched from the content creator, I forgot their name already. But it does make sense to have, for Sarada to have something, you know, like space related, I guess. Because that's kind of where the series is going.
That's a good point. I hadn't thought of that either.
But because I had that thought when I saw Sarada like flying. Well, she isn't really flying. She's just pulling herself up with gravity.
Yeah.
But yeah, it does make sense in that regard. I think initial impressions, I am kind of like I'm very drawn to her dialogue, right?
Yeah.
Because TLDR, she says something like, oh, you know, basically I want to face I want to face the things that give me distress or, you know, stress or all that stuff, you know?
Yeah. And that was one thing we talked about wanting to explore too, like what it was that she was holding back. And, you know, I kind of like the explanation.
Yeah.
She was, I guess, unsure of herself and like who she is and her ability to do anything against... I mean, we've talked about like raising the stakes, right? And the power creep in the series.
Yeah.
So on a meta level, it's kind of interesting in that respect. But no, that was nice. It was a nice character moment.
Yeah, I think I think in terms of the power level, it wasn't something that we discussed in the previous videos, but it's something that you and I have discussed a lot.
Yeah.
So that's... Actually, speaking of power levels, can't believe Sarada kill that guy all by herself, dude.
No, that's... I mean, that ability is OP. From what we've seen so far, that looks really, really OP.
Yeah, it's basically, what's the thing called when they,
The Chibaku Tensei?
Yeah, it's like a better Shibaku Tensei.
It really is, yeah, like...
Oh my god.
I don't know, like, I wonder if you could, like, destroy it in the way that Itachi and Killer Bee and Naruto destroyed the Chibaku Tensei from Nagato? Like, what is the weakness here?
Though.
Right?
It's interesting though, right? Because the Shibaku Tensei, it looks like it's something that's like hard, you know, like it's just the fact that they can destroy it, you know, it just feels like a solid object, like in the middle.
Yeah. Even though it's like it doesn't look like it, but yeah, the fact that you can destroy it.
Like this looks like a hazy kind of like. It really does look like a black hole. I mean, for real, all the black hole theorists are like.
Yeah. Well, I think that because the difference is like with the Chibaku Tensei, it's like a gravitational field that like pulls things together. But I think this like it seems like it actually destroys whatever it pulls in, like a black hole would, or presumably, because we don't technically know everything about black holes. But you know,
I mean, Ryu combusted, dude. Well, did Ryu combust because she blew him up, or is it because he's made of sand?
I don't think he's made of sand. Is he? Is that like a thing that's like confirmed that he's made of sand?
Oh no, I'm kind of just spitballing.
No, because I think he's made of whatever the other Shinju are made of.
Okay, might be.
Well, I mean, I could be wrong. It was something I'm forgetting, but no, that is a broken ability.
Dude, she blew him the fuck up. Oh my god.
And the Shinju are no joke, dude. They're fucking powerful.
Yeah. Here's what I will say though. He is a new Shinju.
He is the newest one, yeah.
He is the newest one, so you could say that like I'm just trying to play devil's advocate though. Like you could say that like, you know, he's like a newborn, like a newborn, but
well, one thing I am curious about initial reactions as I'm like flipping through pages. I'm really curious because Boruto and Koji are listening from Ada about what's going on, right?
Yeah.
But we know for sure that Ada's not giving them a live feed because she can't because of the bug Shinju, right? So she's only looking at it with a delay. But Boruto is still able to get there in time to save Konohamaru.
Maybe she is giving them a live feed? I don't know. It could be a plot hole there, maybe.
Well, it could just be that Konohamaru's the GOAT and he survived long enough for Boruto to get there.
Konohamaru's the GOAT.
Yeah, you know, he technically lost the fight, but like he's the GOAT. He survived.
Maybe he's not a fraud.
He survived enough for Boruto. No, but the reason that part's interesting to me too is because we also talked about this in the Shinju video from before the Sarada one, where we posed the question of whether or not Koji was doing the right thing, because he's the person in the sort of authority figure in terms of knowing information that we the readers and that the other characters don't know, but we don't technically know if what he's doing is correct or steering us in the right direction. And this chapter sort of touches on that too, with his conversation with Boruto.
Yeah, I mean, I guess, you know what? Because you know what we were talking about? We were talking about, like, you know, Jiro's reflections on humans, right? I think it was, like, reasoning versus instinct and stuff like that. That's actually perfectly displayed here. Like, technically, the right optimal way to victory is to probably let Konohamaru die. Well, actually, we don't know that, right?
Yeah. Well, actually, I see where you're going. This is a great point. Keep going.
Yeah. Yeah, like we kind of see that, like, I feel like, what's his face? Like, Koji is trying to go the optimal route because he's like, we need this to happen this way or we're all gonna die. Yeah. You know? But, you know, Boruto acts quote-unquote irrationally by going to save Konohamaru because of his emotions, you know? Yeah. So, that's just a great thing that was reflected from the previous chapter, too. Which is interesting because Koji's technically not human. Technically.
That's true. No, that's true. I am very, very interested on if they explore his connection to Jiraiya at some point. Because I feel like that's not something that's been explored.
Yeah.
I feel like it was something that was touched on in the original when he was fighting Ishiki. Yeah. But, you know, he's not Jiraiya. He's very different from Jiraiya, right? So I'm curious if that gets explored. I don't think it has to be, but I think it would be really interesting if it did.
Yeah, especially since Jiraiya himself kind of was kind of like in the middle between, like, you know, I think we did touch on and who knows if we'll put that future section out, but we were talking about parallels to Naruto a little bit. The intersection between a shinobi and a human, right? And I do feel like Jiraiya was kind of a great example of that.
Yeah, that was like his whole thing.
Yeah, because he has been in war. He's been in, he's seen his fair share of like bloodshed as shinobi. I think they quote him several times as having one of the ninja who's done the most missions in the village. And then he's also done some humanitarian things as well, right? Quote unquote humanitarian. He's wrote a few books. He even stayed back to take care of Nagato, Yahiko, and Konan, right?
Yeah.
So that's a quote unquote human side of him as well. And even just going on a tangent about Jiraiya, that's kind of not the main focus of this video, but I definitely do want to see if Koji's affected by Jiraiya's side at all, because all Amato took was Jiraiya's cells, assumably.
Yeah.
So we'll see.
I think I know there are always theories about, like, I've seen them here and there, like, oh, would he have like any of Jiraiya's memories? I never understood those theories, because why would he? It's not like Amado had access to, I mean, as far as we know, Jiraiya's brain, Like, just because he's a genetic clone doesn't mean he would have the memories of Jiraiya, right? Or even be the same person as we've touched on.
Would chakra like transfer over from cells? I'm assuming no, right?
I doubt it. I don't think so. But
the only reason why I say that though is because Minato like put his chakra into the seal to meet Naruto. So
yeah, but that was like an intentional thing that he did.
Yeah,
like he's. So I wouldn't think this would work the same. But the point I was getting at was, like, we've seen with Delta too, right? Like, just because you have like a genetic clone doesn't mean they'll turn out exactly the same. Like, what does it mean to
Oh, that's right. Like yeah.
So Koji's obviously not the same as Jiraiya. Actually, totally pivoting again, because I'm looking at the panel. This is the panel I caught a glimpse of when I was just like scrolling through Twitter, and I just like caught a glimpse of it. It was the one where she's floating and she says, Mangekyo Sharingan Ohirume.
Yeah.
I just noticed the arrows pointing around her. I don't know if you noticed that the first time. It's page 30.
Yeah, I noticed it the first time. I just figured it was like I don't know if it's relevant to her power, but I just knew it was a reflection of like the sun in her eye,
Yeah. So I think that's cool. I wonder if that's gonna mean anything. It probably will. That's interesting.
Maybe that's what's summoned when she blows someone up. I don't know. She passed out. She used all her chakra. So I guess that still leaves room for if she finds a way to like heal herself. LOL.
I don't think so. Well, I mean, we've only seen presumably one of her abilities, right?
Yeah.
Unless the arrows and the black holes are different abilities. Maybe. I doubt it. But she could still have a second ability. She's only bleeding out of one eye.
Yeah. Oh, that's true. Yeah.
Now I'm really curious. Yeah, so originally we were like, okay, maybe she'll have one new ability with this black hole thing, and then like maybe her second ability is just Amaterasu. But now, it seems like those two things are one. So
I'm wondering if because if she gets Black Flame Amaterasu, I would actually find that quite boring.
I don't think she will anymore, because that's what Ohirume is. That's her Amaterasu connection, right? And that's why I think it's exciting. Because now you can still give her that Amaterasu connection, both in universe, because she's Sasuke's daughter, and that was the ability that Sasuke and Itachi shared. So it like just genetically and like it makes sense that she would have it, right? But to give her an ability that's tied to Amaterasu, that's not Amaterasu, you can still do that, and then now frees up her second ability if she gets one. I think she will, to be something else too, and that's exciting. I don't think, except for maybe like these arrow things, that we've seen anything that would hint at what her second ability would be. But she should have a second ability, right?
Yeah. Well, I mean, I guess we could say that like because the black hole blowing up, like that's all just like one. I do think it's just all one ability, because that's all features of a black hole, right?
Yeah.
So I don't know. I am excited to see what her second one is. I think eventually.
Yeah, I think for sure. Because we only see her, I'm looking through it again, we only see her bleeding out of one eye.
Yeah.
So she should have a second one at some point. This one's her right eye that's bleeding, so left eye ability is still up for her. No, that's cool though.
I do think the fact that it's bleeding does mean that she'll probably go blind, right?
That has to be a something they address. They have to, address it somehow, I think.
Yeah. I don't know, that was a good one. After like, I don't know, maybe 5 chapters of slog, maybe.
Yeah,
2.
I know. we wanted to do a live reaction to this and then give our initial thoughts because like we knew that this was coming, right? Like the Sarada reveal. So it was going to be exciting, very likely one way or another. So we just figured, hey, might as well record our reaction to this and give our initial thoughts.
Now I know why that guy said that he was right. He was probably right. Honestly, we were right too.
Yeah, no, there were some of the things that we talked about in that video that ended up, I think, playing out. Not everything, of course, but we ran through a lot of different possibilities. So if you're interested to see what we had to say beforehand and, a little bit more analysis, check out our previous couple of videos. We'll have another video talking about Chapter 20 coming out sometime, talking a little bit about the connections between Boruto and the original Naruto, and, a little bit of some of our criticisms. But that'll come out eventually. This will probably come out before then, but check that out when that comes out. And then we might do a longer video on Chapter 21. We'll just have to give it a bit of time to think about what we would want to talk about. We'll see. But this is all super exciting. Hope you guys are excited as well. And catch you guys next time.
Peace.